What's good, everybody? It's Carrington here. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be discussing life after athletics, what to do, how to transition, how to get your thoughts ready to enter the workforce, or how to become and discover a new passion after your athletics are done. This is a very, very tough topic to talk about. Some people go through a lot of depression and don't really know what direction to go in after they're finished with their sport. So we're going to get into it, find some things that some habits and some things to build. Whether you're a senior in high school and you don't know what you want to do next, or if you want to go to college or not, or if you are a senior in college and you're playing at whatever level and you're trying to get into something new, we're going to talk about some things to think about, how to transition your mind to start thinking so that you're more successful in life without your athletics. So let's get into it. So first I'm going to start off with just talking about my story, about who I am. I played at the University of Arizona. I was a little middle linebacker. I ended up getting recruited and was a preferred walk-on at the University of Arizona, in which I played up under Rich Rodriguez. When I got out there, I played 3 years as a linebacker and special teams player. Did that, and I ended up getting hurt my junior year. After I got injured, I wasn't able to come back. Due to several different reasons, especially the damage done to my knee. So what I had to do was I had to adjust my life in order to become a regular student at the University of Arizona, and I had to think about the certain aspects of my life and how to attain the certain goals that I had, but just with sports on the back burner. But what I knew was that I always wanted to be attached to sports. I knew in my mind that I had the capacity to become a lawyer one day. So what I did after I was done was, it wasn't time to go to law school, but my senior year, what I did was I jumped in. So the first thing that I did was I did have a plan. And if you have a plan in advance of what you want to do after you're done with college, this really, really helps. A lot of people feel like whenever you go to college, especially me, I played at the Division I level, and sports at the D1 level is there's so much on you, so much to think about, and you have to really be prepared to play fit, not only physically but emotionally, mentally. You have to be prepared for the game. And a lot of athletes feel like because of all that preparation that they have to do in order to become that special athlete, in order to get to the next level, that they have to put all their other plans on the back burner. But the thing is that you can prepare both. You can you can sell out for your sport and go hard and become the athlete that you're supposed to be, while at the same time having a backup plan in your head for what you want to do next. So that's the big thing, is just to plan in advance and have several different passions. Like my passion was playing football. I've been playing since I was 8 years old. Well over 10,000 hours just of preparation and just trying to get to the D1 level. And what I found was that I was putting all my eggs in one basket, even more so, even emotionally. Like I had so much passion for the game to a point where I wanted it so bad, to where I was putting everything on the back burner, and I put in so much work. So I'm like, I have to get this outcome. I want to go to the league. And as life developed, certain things happen, especially with your body. And playing the game of football is very, very contact heavy, obviously. So it's like, you got to be in the game. You got to be ready to go. If you're not at your peak shape, then it's all for naught. So I ended up putting all of my emotional health into my sport. So how I was doing on the football field was how I felt about myself off the football field, and that was very, very unhealthy. And so once I started changing my mindset to say, like, okay, just because I'm not doing well in this specific area of my life, that doesn't mean that I should be unhappy in the other aspects of my life. So what I do is flip my mindset in order to be successful, not only on the field but off the field, and go crazy in your sport and really enjoy that moment while you're playing. But at the same time, take a couple hours a week. Like, what are my other passions? How do I develop a new thing, or what else am I interested in? Because that same grind that you put for your football and for your any other sport, whatever you're in, I say football because that's what I did, but whatever sport you're in, you can take that same grind and you can transfer it into your off the field grind. So for me, like, I went hard in football. Like, I did extra work. I played hard. I worked out hard. You know what I mean? I sold out for the game of football because I loved it. That's what I did. But when it came to an end, I then took that same grind, those same hours that I put in, to the game. I put them into my studying for my LSAT. I did that, and I took those same hours and I started volunteering different places. Just putting myself out there in different circles to learn new skills. So I started like speaking publicly. I started looking at different industries that I would be interested in going into, like real estate, you know what I mean, different investment opportunities. So I started getting into that type of stuff. And once I started doing that, my mind just kept unfolding, you know what I mean, about stuff that I was interested in, what I wanted to do. I began to create a bigger plan for myself of what I actually wanted to do with my life. And so because of those hours that I put in, I wasn't quite sure how things were going to work out or what I wanted to do overall. But once I got and I put in that work for a different grind, I started getting different opportunities just by saying yes to people and doing that different stuff and speaking and different things like that. And all these different opportunities began to unfold just because I took a risk and said yes. So the same risk that you take in football, the same risk that you take or in your sport, you could take that same thing and you can win off the field. Another thing that I used to think about is how your sport, with sports, making a play, doing something big, there's instant gratification after making that play. The glory of the game, that feeling that you get when you make a big play. When you get off the field, life is a long game. You know what I mean? The plans and the things that you have to take they're more spaced out. The gratification isn't instant. So a lot of athletes, whenever they're done playing, because they aren't getting those fast wins, I dealt with this a lot. It's like, I'm not playing anymore. I'm not making tackles anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing anything. So I would get kind of down, like, why am I not a winner anymore? Like, why am I not making things happen? Why do I feel like my life is getting mundane? But what I found out is that you have to build within those moments. So your wins are going to be farther apart, but they're bigger once you get there. Like for me, it was graduating. For me, it was getting into law school. But those are all distant gratification. But I had to learn. That's where I learned to put in that work and that grind and that consistency of putting myself out there, wanting to make things happen. So next you have to really work on is believing in what your new purpose is. So we all have, most of us that are playing sports, we start at a young age, especially if you're competing at a high level, you started early. And there is a lot of just value that you put into yourself through your sport. But the big thing is being able to believe in your new purpose. So what is next for me? Because it's not over. Just because you're done off the field, like that's not it. You know what I mean? You still have a long life ahead of you. You still got 50 years, 60 years. Bless you if you have more, but it's just you have to be able to find that new purpose and find something new to believe in. If you can find something new to believe in and somewhere you can put your effort and where you can put those emotions and you can put that grind, because it's all the same. It's all that longevity and finding something that fulfills you and something that you could wake up saying, I want to get this. I want to go hard for this. So once you can believe in that new purpose and really push to make something happen in that area, all you got to do is find the passion. Once you find the passion, something that means something to you just as much as your sport did, then the transition is so much easier. That's why you plan in advance. You think, okay, what else do I like? What else am I passionate about? What do I want to go full throttle at? You have to. Another big thing is learning who you are without your teammates. I feel like a lot of us, we grow up playing sports and we're always around other people and we get wins with these other people. But when they aren't around, when you're done with your sport, your teammates aren't around. Everybody's going their different directions. I went through this after I was done playing. I wasn't in the locker room as much. I wasn't around the same people that I was around. It's like everybody was gone, and I really had to start living for myself and understanding who I am without a team, who I am without University of Arizona football, you know what I mean, on my chest. Because now I'm representing Carrington Vaughn without all the glory and without the name, without the apparel and all this stuff. So I had to find that value within myself so that I can present it to the world. So I really had to figure that out, and that was a long process. But at the same time, once I figured it out, I became a stronger person overall, because like now I can kind of present my personal value, not just me running and jumping and tackling people, but I can present my intellect, who I am at heart truly, and what I value. I can present it to other people without them having a certain type of respect for me just because I played football, And now I can say, oh, I'm not only am I Carrington Vaughn, the ex-athlete, but I'm Carrington Vaughn, the law student. I'm Carrington Vaughn, you know, the brother, like the son, like, you know what I mean? I'm more than just my athlete. I'm more than just an athlete. And I can present that to people, and I can show them who I am and demonstrate that in so many different ways, because football just isn't, that's just one aspect of what I did, but it's not who I am. That's why you gotta go for yourself. You gotta get it for yourself. You gotta focus on what your passion is, what fulfills you, and how are you gonna attain that. So you have to be very, very intentional about learning more. I mean, we all go to college. Not all of us go to college, but I'm saying, like, college doesn't really make you smarter. It's just a curriculum that they're throwing at you, and, you know, you just pass the test, you get the degree, and that makes you more valuable. But it's the work that you put in when you're by yourself to seek knowledge that you actually retain, and those are things that actually work for you. So what I would say is learn more. I knew that I'm into so many different industries. I like sales, I like real estate, I like investing. There's so many different things that I can learn about in order to add to myself. So I had to go and seek that knowledge myself. So once I was done playing and I had that extra free time, I started seeking knowledge. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to the league anymore because my knees hurt, but I still want to attain that major success that I had in my head about playing football and getting to the league. And I still want to make those millions. I still want to have that success. I still want to be fulfilled in those different areas. So what I did was I'm seeking knowledge. I'm like, okay, how do I attain that same outcome without having my sport anymore? And then that's when I developed the idea. I knew I wanted to be a lawyer because that would help me in so many different facets. The law applies to everything. So what I did was I put my work into law, and then I knew I wanted to do a little real estate, so I picked up a real estate book, read through that, you know what I mean, and began to start taking notes as well. Not just reading just to retain it on the first thing, but I started taking notes and connecting dots, connecting different things, or how can I do this, how can I do that, and I started connecting all these different interests. And once I did that, I formulated this idea, like I want to be a sports agent, I want to do this, I want to do that, and that's what's fueling me now. That's what puts me on. That's what makes me wake up and say, hey, like, let me do this. Let's stick and move, because I want this outcome. I have this desire. I have this focus. I have this vision of who I want to be, the type of man I want to be. And so that's what I get up every day, and I'm like, I'm pushing for this thing, and I'm pushing for it full force. Last thing I would say about adjusting, to life after losing your sport, or being done with your sport, graduating, you attained a great thing, you graduated, you finished, or whatever scenario that you're in, is to get out there and network and meet people. I feel like when I was playing football and everything at the University of Arizona, I kind of felt like I had some type of ego, like I was better than other people, or like I couldn't really learn from other people until I got done. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm really back at square one. But at the same time, I still have that you played football, and that's a conversation starter. So I began to start meeting with people. I began to start speaking at different schools and different stuff like that. And I began to use that to my benefit, as being an ex-athlete. Because when that athlete is attached to your name, there's certain things that people think about you immediately. And there's some things that I had to dispel about that, and there's other things that are like, gave me a little leg up. They got me in some rooms, being an ex-athlete, got me around certain people, and then I could say, hey, like, I'm this person, this is what I did, and they would say, okay, how can I help you? And that's what you're looking for. Whenever they say, how can I help you, then you begin to say, oh, I need this, this, and this is what I'm trying to do. You can put that out there, and that opens up other opportunities. Once you get those other opportunities, just like you're making play in football, you use your mouthpiece and you make something happen. Tell them what you need and make those things happen. So once you can really like get all these different aspects of how can I be successful after I'm done playing ball, once you can shift your mindset to not just feeling like you can be successful just on the field, but you can be successful, use those same skills that you had and be successful in your life, period. All right, guys, that's the end of that first video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see on this page for future notice. I have so much information to put out there, and I just want to put it in the best quality way that I can. So let me know your suggestions. Still refining and making things better. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Send it to anybody that you can, especially your brothers and your cousins. We want to inspire our men these days, and just thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, peace.